Hello everybody, welcome back to the workshop. So in this video, I'm going to show you the most basic of all welds. And this is just a simple lap weld. Now this is a full lap weld or just, a regular lap weld that you would see if you've got, say, a short piece of bar stock and you're trying to lap it onto something longer or attach it to a longer piece of bar stock. This is a pretty common weld. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create ourselves basically just a small section of metal called a scarf that is stretched out or thinned out, if you will, the edge of the material. So we want a fairly thin scarf on our piece. This is just a little short section of 1/4x1 flat stock. I'm going to stick that back in the fire. I've got another larger section of 1/4x1 flat stock, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. That end, again, trying to create a section where this is really thinned out. I'm using the edge of the anvil to pull out this edge and fuller it out really thin. But I'm going to correct the spreading action on this piece. We'll correct the spreading action on this piece. It looks like we've done that. So basically you want one a little wider and one a little narrower. So we've got that done. I'm going to stick this back in the fire now. And we're going to do what is commonly referred to as a drop the tongs weld. So I'm going to bring this piece up to full heat here. Once it's up to full heat, I'm going to bring out the tongs. I'm going to set the one piece on top of the other piece and then go to hammering it. You guys have seen this trick done a multitude of times. It's the same basic trick no matter where you've seen it at. It's the same thing. And again, it's commonly referred to as a drop the tongs weld, although this is basically a lap weld. Dropping the tongs is referring to the action, not the weld itself. The weld itself is what you are doing. If they're just going over each other like this, you're taking one length, you're scarfing it, taking another length, laying over the top, and then welding it. That is basically a lap weld. That is the technical term for it. So I'm going to bring this thing up nice and hot here. It's a nice cold day in the shop, so you got to put a little extra heat into the fire pot. Now on camera, this looks insanely hot out here. It's really not blaring through there that much. What you're seeing is the sulfur flame that's coming off of the fire pot. The fire pot's actually pretty small. The heating area that I'm heating up is actually pretty small. So as I get closer to heat, I'm going to start backing off the temp just a bit. I'm going to be finding me my 2 pairs of tongs and getting a hold of the pieces themselves. Make sure everything's set up for the weld. And I'm going to be testing these things for sticking. That's kind of important because if they won't stick inside the fire, most likely they will not stick outside the fire. If they're just kind of skating around on the surface of each other inside the fire, that's a bad thing. No dice. So before I pull these out, I'd like to just thank you for joining me today. Thank you for hanging out with me in the shop. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're going to find this video informative. And if you did and you feel like this has helped you in some way, I ask that you consider sharing this with your friends if you think that they would find it valuable. All right, I think we are about at heat. Get a hold of it here. Make sure I've got a hold of it. Both these pieces have been in long enough. Sweep the anvil a bit. Pull them both out. See, I waited way too long for it. and I lost my heat. That simple. Take another heat on it. That's why we left that extra material there. Then we'll bring it up to heat again. So as I was saying, if you found this helpful, share it with your friends. You all may share in my pleasure or displeasure of not being able to get those welds to stick there the first time. But what hopefully I can show with this is even if they don't stick the first time, you can always readjust them if you need to and try again. There's nothing wrong with that. A lot of times we get to thinking that the weld has to be critical, has to be perfect the first time, and it really doesn't. All right, getting a little sparkly on the one. As I'm pushing the airflow too much, I'll bring them out. And it's stuck. Put it back in the fire. And now we've got that little lap weld stuck. But there's a big difference between stuck and welded. So if you go back and you count off there, that was a timing issue. If you see the first time, what happened is I brought the tongs out and I did too much adjusting here before I got out my first hammer blow. That is 99.999% of the problem with most forge welds is the timing. If the piece is hot enough, even if the piece is dirty, and you get it with enough hammer force, it'll mush out what's in between it. Even if it's super dirty and crusty, you can still get it to weld. It's just the timing from the fire to here. You recognizing that you are at a full welding heat and what that looks like. And once you realize what a full welding heat looks like, being able to pull it out at that welding heat without burning it, going too much above, that means giving too much oxygen to the fire at that temperature. So you want to be in a reducing fire, preferably if you can. And again, don't be distracted like talking to a camera, and pay attention more to your fire than demonstrating for people, telling them what they ought to be doing, that you are directly not doing. So once you get those edges cleaned in, you can square it back up. And if you notice any areas that did not quite pull in, you can always throw just a little bit of flux on it at that point and re-weld them. But those two pieces are joined. So I just lengthened that piece of bar stock with a simple lap weld. Now I've been leaving in a lot of these missed welds or where the timing wasn't quite right. And the reason why I've been leaving that into the videos that I've been filming here is not that the fact that I can't perform a weld properly. There are some days that I weld like an absolute machine, first time, every time, and it's usually when I'm not talking to a camera like I'm doing now, or I'm demonstrating. Whenever you've got your focus split between other things going on in the shop and trying to pull off a weld, you're always going to have a less than satisfactory result. So, but what the main purpose of this, that I'm leaving some of these little oopsies up, didn't bring it out hot enough, or hey, this or that, is because a lot of you out there struggle with making your forge welds. And because you struggle maybe making that first set or that first weld, you just give up. You get frustrated. You say, you know what, this isn't worth it. And you just set it off to the side and you don't get back and you just say, hey, you know what, maybe I can't forge weld. There's some people who can forge weld and then there's other people who can't. I maybe just be one of those people who can't. That is absolutely a myth. It's complete bogus. You can forge weld. It is just a matter of a mechanical process. You heat the material up to where it has a molten surface. You take those two molten surfaces, you put them together, you hammer on them lightly to push out any scale or junk out to the outer edges of them, and then that sticks good clean material together. As you can see, this was done without any flux. The weld's on there, it's not going anywhere, it's not opening up, it's together. There's no magic in this, it is just a process. Some guys like to use a lot of flux, that can inhibit a weld. If sprinkling a little bit of flux or just right in at the toes of the scarf of the weld, that can really help you out by just sealing up those little ends, just so this way they don't get trapped, get dirt trapped underneath them, and then they never weld in. So there's no real right and wrong way there, so to speak. The main purpose is to take and remember that this is something that blacksmiths have been doing for literally thousands of years, and you can too as well. Just get it in the fire, bring it up to what looks like a full welding heat to your eyes, come out, hammer the pieces together. If it didn't happen, stop, realize what you did. Maybe my hammer was clear over here and I went hunting for it for a second. And just that extra second of time was the difference between me getting a weld to stick and me not getting a weld to stick. Maybe look at the fire. Maybe the fire's too cold and you're not getting those pieces up hot enough in order for them to weld. You're bringing them out and they're a dull orange and you're trying to weld. That's not going to work either. So be observant of why the weld didn't stick. Don't get frustrated with it and just set it off to the side, because that's not how we learn and grow. So anyways, that's it for this video. It's a simple lap weld. You can make these all day long for practice pieces. And in fact, I suggest you get out, just cut yourself some 4-inch pieces of 1/4x1 stock and just practice lap welding them together, drawing a little scarf on them, and then go ahead and just lap welding them together. And just keep practicing that if you want to take and get better. So again, that's it for today. I hope you just enjoyed your video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope that it helped you in some small way. If it did, remember to leave a comment down in the comment section and, share it with your friends. Without further ado, God bless you, and thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.